So I'm here with today's winner, Northern League, Ben Flounders. Hi to you, Ben. Today you were playing a deck called Allurin. Can you tell me what the deck does, mostly around its signature card, which is called Allurin?
Sure. Well, Allurin being a 4-mana cost green enchantment, which allows each player to play creatures costing 3 or less instant speed. And then it combos off from there. So it uses Recruiter of the Guard to go and search for either other copies of Recruiter of the Guard or Arctic Merfolk.
Sure.
You then play Arctic Merfolk, use the kicker on that to bounce the Recruiter of the Guard again, replay the Recruiter of the Guard, then you go and get the Cavern Harpy, play the Cavern Harpy, use that to bounce the Arctic Merfolk, play the Arctic Merfolk again, bounce the Recruiter, replay the Recruiter, go and get Parasitic Strix, and then when that comes into play, if you control a black creature, i.e. your Cavern Harpy, your opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Cavern Harpy then has pay 1 life, return it to your hand. You then replay it again, bounce the Strix, and keep going there and go infinite.
All right, I see the infinite combo. It's just when you do it on camera, your opponents sort of know what you're doing and they kind of shrug and pick up their cards.
Yeah.
So why is this a deck that you enjoy?
It's fairly resistant. It has a backup beatdown plan. There's Baleful Strixes, there's Shardless Agents as well. You can just start jamming with 2/2s. And sometimes people don't see the Allurin or Recruiter of the Guard in your hand at all if they've got any disruption, and then suddenly you just play it and win. They assume you're playing Bug.
So they can think you're on a bug control plan, a shardless bug plan, and then suddenly out of nowhere you're this combo that kills them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What would you recommend this deck for a field of?
Miracles is a good matchup for it. Other slower decks, it tends not to like combo too much, but I am running 3 Force of Will main deck to help with that. And it plays 4 Cabal Therapy as well, which is also pretty good. It doesn't really like Reanimator, that's probably its worst.
Sure. So this deck changed from I used to have a red splash, used to play Imperial Recruiter, and then suddenly in Conspiracy 2, Recruiter of the Guard came out. Do you think that made the deck more viable, or did it make it stronger? Is the white splash better?
The white splash opens up a lot more doors in the sideboard space as well. You've got things like Sword, you've got Rest in Peace. It allows me to run Running Light and Tutor main deck as well. So it's the 5th Allurin basically, lets me put it on top.
Yeah, I saw you like your tutor package. I see this card in front of me, also Limdal's Vault, which I saw you play a few times in the Swiss. It's an old card from Alliances. Can you tell me a bit about that card?
It's one of the most complicated, badly written cards from the older days that's been rewritten since. But effectively, you look at the top 5 cards of your library, decide if you want them. If not, put them in a pile to the side, look at the next 5 for the cost of 1 life. And you keep going until you're happy with the 5, shuffle the rest together, and then put those 5 on top. It fixes your deck completely.
So it's like a bad Vampiric Tutor / bad Index, but both added together, it kind of works out.
Yeah, it works out really well. I mean, if you get lucky with the 5 that you decide to keep, you can get like 2 or 3 pieces of the combo there on top of your deck, untap, play Brainstorm, and then just win because you've drawn all 3 in one go.
Okay, so one last thing. What would you say the actual weaknesses? What cards and decks is the deck weak to?
It's just combo, really. I mean, Show and Tell was a bit of a nightmare. It doesn't mind Miracles at all. That's absolutely fine. Infect's quite problematic. It can't really deal with it. It's just too fast, Infect is.
Sure, I mean, there wasn't much Death and Taxes out there, but I know you've had a problem with that deck in the past.
Death and Taxes is an absolute nightmare. Too many of the cards in Death and Taxes ruin it. You've got Wasteland to take you off the mana. You've got Richard Port, which also takes you off the mana, and then you've got all of your Hate Bears, which you can retutor up yourself with the Recruiter of the Guard. Just make it a really tough match to win, and Thalia's make the Allurin cost 5 at least.
Okay, and what was your best matchup today and your worst matchup today?
I'm struggling to think now. Worst matchup was actually probably the final. Then I was actually dreading that. If he drops the Starfield and Nyx and the Humility, I'm just dead. My only way of dealing it with is the Swords to Plowshares, which are boarded in, and then wait for him to make them all creatures, and then swords them both.
Okay, well, I think that's all we've got time for now, so we're going to pass it back to the booth.